get the last question.
I told you. Last question. Like, share, comment, subscribe. The usual. Is the last question going? Damn.
Yeah.
Alright, ladies. So, put on one. I feel like it's not spoken about at all. So we're going to touch on it today. How difficult you all find it is to be a woman in today's society. And don't say it's not difficult. I mean, it could be not difficult, but you all know what are. No, because I mean, some of them might say, no, like, cool, I normal, nothing really doesn't happen to me personally. But I feel like we've been through a lot this year, in particular, in certain circumstances where we've seen a specific outcry with regards to women.
Right. Correct.
So, you don't touch on how that is home to you, but you can speak on to your personal nature in terms of how you find it is difficult to be a woman in today's society.
See, this question could go so many different ways.
Love it.
You know? Because if we're talking about being a woman, you probably dress like how you dress here and you walk out.
That's actually a question.
You know, somebody bound to say something. It is so difficult sometimes that I might be walking in the grocery looking like a spranger as far as how I feel.
Right.
And have something to say. I wear a mask, I wear glasses, so you can't really see much, right? But you still feel like you have to say something. And I remember when we were having, you know, the around the Andrea Barrett situation around that time. I specifically remember going into Massey and the security guard followed me through lanes, just catcalling, and I was like, what the fuck?
The security?
Yes, and in my mind, I was like, you have no self-awareness because everybody and the mother know what's going on right now.
Correct.
And you're infringing on my personal space and you on your job time.
Yeah.
So you just don't care. That's how I was looking at it, and that was probably one of the first times in a long time that I felt unsafe, and I felt like, yo, what is it like women really have to deal with this, right?
And you felt unsafe in a situation that
security.
No, but we're supposed to be secure,
right?
Secure
So just think about it like this: you go to a party, you go somewhere to enjoy yourself.
Right.
The last thing on your mind, it probably there looming, but it's not really at the forefront that you could possibly be harmed because of how you dress. And to me, that's such a dumb thing when I hear people say that. There have been several times I went full abaya, hijab down. Men have things to say. So it don't matter how little or how much you wear. Because as a woman, it's just something that became so common, and I'm talking about I've been dealing with this since I started getting breasts. I've always been super slim, so I never had no sense of shape or anything, but as a young teenager I had to deal with this. And it's something that society will be like, just ignore, but you really can't, especially now because you're seeing how lives being affected.
Facts.
You going about your business, you minding your business, and somebody feels so entitled to what you have to like violate you like that, right? So it is very difficult, and now you have to be a little bit more guarded. You don't want to go certain places certain times because what if? You don't want to go around certain people because what if? You don't want to travel. Yeah, you don't want to travel here and there with this tax because of what ifs, right? And growing up, I used to travel to school and thing on my own from a young age, and this is not a new situation happening, right? This has been happening for many years. But it's so much more gruesome and so rampant now that it's like, it's so much more fear. So me as a adolescent traveling from Laramie to San Fernando to go to school, it never really was a problem for me.
Right.
Do you understand? But now I have a young daughter, I would never let her travel by herself at all.
Yeah.
Because people are more bold faced with it now, I would say, you know. It's really, really difficult, and you have to really put yourself in all the worst possible scenarios
right,
before you make a decision.
Right.
So is it that currently there's an increase for awareness?
Yeah, and I feel like it have so many things in the media, so many things people saying, protect women, do this, that, right? And it's like you could say and post things all over, but what more you could do? You understand? And I always have the same, because I heard it as a young person. The only way we could protect our daughters is if we teach our sons. You can post how much, you can have how much billboards, you can do all those things. If you have it in your mind that you feel like you could do a woman that because she seems selfless to you, you're going to do it. You might do it with a poster right in front of you. Because people don't really care. So how much more we could talk about this?
I agree with that.
You know?
Yep. And I feel like even touching on that, like with regards to dressing and stuff too, you would see, like for me, you know, I had girl clothes and thing. And for me, if I have to go in a public place, if I have to go to the grocery or if I have to run errands, I would never wear like a crop top, or you wouldn't feel comfortable going out in a short pants, I think, because you feel like, dog, that's doing too much. You shouldn't feel like that, but you feel
I feel like you
and you know clothes ain't gonna protect you regardless, but you know you just still, you
Try
always
to
have
limit
to be limit the opportunities. So things like that, traveling, because I used to travel a lot, and for nothing I won't go for my license, but
I want to touch on that. I really want to touch on that, but alright.
Nah, but I used to travel a lot, and even traveling, you always have to send your location here in this group, you know, tag you in this, take a picture of the driver.
License plate, what?
But I am a only girl child. So my parents are no more child and one girl, right? So you know how fathers is and things. So with everything you have to be real careful. And then it have men, and the thing with this is you could say awareness and thing, and I don't think they're not aware. I think they're very aware. But I don't think you could do so much more awareness. It's really just on them, like it's a personal thing. You had to come to the place. You had to come to the place to say, this is real strippiness, you know. But men, I think, is you really have to reach that place for yourself, because with me, because I was like 5 pounds, right? So walking and take on everybody could just go with me, like how much fight I go and fight, like why are you going? So
no, but just like what she said too, you had to send your location, you had to message your friend, look out for my, you had to thing, right? And it's like, I don't know any of my male friends who have that struggle.
No,
I don't
feel like that.
And it's always like you're on edge. Seriously,
you always
feels like you're on edge.
Even with the police thing, I remember one of my friends. My friend was in school in UE, and it had a police officer that was literally like tracking her, like from
not
even from UE, like saw her before, and then they ended up in UE, and UE we was still like, she was like, dog, that's the police I was talking about. I was like, and the police vehicle and everything, uniform, everything, and these are the people that you're supposed to go to give a report to, right? You know,
so
also it's not making sense.
You really just don't feel safe in a lot of situations. And society, it's a lot of men protect men, right? That's just the black ass bottom man. So you might be going through something. You might say, yo, I just went XYZ and this man tried to touch my thing, whatever. It will end up where it was wearing. You understand? I shouldn't be victim blamed because I chose to wear it. I can wear whatever I want, right? No men not going and say, dog, where's the real scene thing, you get a description, blah, 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 blah. They're not going to do that first. They're always going to go onto the woman. It might have a situation where you speak out about something and say, dog, your brethren, do da 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 da. a lot of men not going to say he on shit, blah, blah, blah. They will talk that on social media, you know, and they're better, but all they don't truly believe that, you know why? Because they can say, I doubt boy, my brethren, he ain't gonna do that, but you don't know this person, mind. You understand? And women not safe out here.
Yeah, women
Men
safe.
not protecting women like they should. You shouldn't have to believe a person because it's your friend, your sister, your mother thing. Women are women.
And that's some of my people.
And that's it. A lot of people just wait until they reach home and you cannot do that. You cannot do that at all. A right thing is a right thing, a wrong thing is a wrong thing. And I mean, what we have to do, it reach a point now where we can't expect to be safeguarded from the police, from other men. Because it's real easy for people to turn a blind eye. Right? So now we feel like, yo, we really have to do this, do that to protect ourselves. So it does become very difficult and very tiring. And when you're thinking the Andrea Barr thing was months ago, that gone, this is what we living with every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day. You don't know when somebody watching you on social media, they're watching you, probably you're going to work every day so they know your past. You just don't know. You understand? But these are what we had to think about every single time we walk out the house.
You know, as to what she touched on there, right? It's in terms of like how men does safeguard the brethren and stuff like that. Not even in that light, but like something as simple as if anybody know Denzel personally.
If you do something fireballing that.
Whatever, if all I know the dog personally, like we's real live man thing, right? And we are constantly placed in situations, not because we put ourselves. It has just happened. Coincidentally, it's always happened that we in certain situations where
To protect
a woman is vulnerable, and I could attest.
Yeah, them days done.
I could attest.
If you can't drink, don't let me no more. Fuck that. Don't get.
Let me tell all that, right? Let me tell all that. And these like stories from way back, right? But in the same line, we've been in situations where we've seen women at vulnerable situations, and I could account for myself being as a person like nonchalant about situations that I should not have been nonchalant about, right? Because to me it's like, one, I don't know her like that person, because I know if it's like a close friend, a female friend,
you know how you're going to react.
But let me say it's the first time I'm meeting you, and that is your, like, that's how you acting, you drunk, you doing whatever. Most of the time, the majority of fellas would be like in a corner, just saying, like, wait, you see him? He don't play that. She drunk, doing whatever. And then reach the point where we support him on Superman. And I mean, as they get older, you would realize how and why he is the way he is. And you
be like your own guys.
the need for it, no, the need for it, not why he is it, but the need for it, as more people like him.
That,
he's
what he's talking about
was
busy. Because that young lady came with a friend of ours. So she's not our friend, but she's a friend of my friend.
Right.
Yes, and so, and she come and she get a little beyond, you know.
I'm just saying,
the line.
and added to that, you know what is add to that too? And women need to be held accountable for their actions as well. Not in regards to the person that became drunk, but the friend you came with. If we as fellas bad talking, like, because it would be considered bad talking, the individual, you can't be as the female friend that bring that girl saying, boy, I don't know how she gets so, and I don't,
I gave out your friends because
how you as the woman doing that?
If I have a friend there, I not considering anybody else to come and have my back.
Right.
Because
you're supposed to be the one.
exactly, because in a situation like that, we was the one in a corner, yes, I would agree to that. But we Aaron. Now, but he holding back on here on the corner.
Right. And where her friend was.
Inside.
Inside.
No, but here my thing with that, right? I don't care about the friend or whatever.
He don't
just see in a
My,
person.
Yeah.
my thing is this. I cannot leave that young lady outside there by herself. Because any man who is a predator could just pull up and say, hey, look, she did, she said she vomiting. They be like, we gonna carry she hospital, carry she somebody and that's the end of she. We don't know where she end up. Nothing like that. And I beg on that. I have 5 sisters and you play.
Right.
So I was like, well, even if she friend, because she friend was vexed that she reached that stage. My thing is that if you come to have fun and you as my friend get drunk, fine. Me and mine is my friend. If he get drunk, he big. I go carry him. We go find somewhere. We go drag him something. You understand? That's my friend.
Well,
Like
can't
my
carry
friend,
me.
nobody
Well,
leave
they
my
cannot
friend.
carry
No,
me.
my friend.
That's it.
But she was there by association and for some time, let me say, even if she fall and damage herself and God forbid she end up something to feet or something like that.
Possible number of things can
Yeah,
happen.
exactly. And that had an end real life now. You understand? So if it is, I could take 20 minutes and see about this person,
Yeah.
them enjoy themselves still, and that 20 minutes can I make shit as a state where she can sit down and just relax. Yeah, I do too much. I don't mind that. You understand? Same with parties. If I go to a party and I see somebody like the time we were at a party, some little imps come on me because I want when some kid went to school with or whatever. And I walk away. Everybody vexed. Mackie vexed. Everybody vexed.
Yeah, brother.
It was
I was
Mackie,
there, but I was
everybody
there.
vexed. I walk away and I'm like, it don't make sense because only 6 fellas and we had 13 girls.
Right.
So 6 of we get for the party. We're going to look after the girls.
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
No, like,
And fellas, I feel like plenty men don't think beyond the act of
they
as a
don't.
man.
They
So,
don't. We don't. We
Yeah, so I'm sure big my
don't.
boys is now.
We don't because I've been real. Like, as opposed to the past 3 years, like, he could attest my mental has matured with regards to. I think I tell people recently, I think especially my brother, I try to be more empathetic because I am not. I have zero feelings towards certain situations. I literally just be like, okay. So, like, people and their feelings, that's
You
something.
can't because there's a voice.
I'm trying real hard on that.
humanity,
I'm really trying hard on that.
You can't, and that's fair, right? And it's good that you can acknowledge that
Yeah,
that's something
yeah,
that you
yeah,
really have to
yeah.
work on. But it is a matter of people would see certain things and just turn a blind eye because it's not affecting them or somebody that they know, and
Right.
that is
That's
where
literally me.
that's one of the big issues we have, right? Because if you literally in front of you seeing something wrong happening, if you can't stop it with your hands, stop it with your mouth. Or if all else is you have hate it in your heart. And
Yeah.
like my thing is just do something.
Yeah, something.
You
It don't matter.
understand?
Just do something.
I hear
That's
you.
it.
Because we've been fight like we end up in like literal fight situations. Like everybody ready to go, bottles pick up everything. He reasoning with the man.
Boys are
And what
reasoning.
happened? Did we fight? No!
I shit.
Because it always
I
has
shit.
a
Boys are
better
reasoning.
solution.
I shit. That night we closed down a
Well, they
while.
did not fight, and we love that because they could have go how much ever different ways. But just to,
He get cut out like he bleeding and
that's fine, but nobody
That's
ever
fine.
went there.
No,
when-
You know what he do after? He went to our next location and party. You
So
understand?
they didn't fight or they was pulling.
You can help in hospital, what kind of thing you
Why?
don't know.
But apart from that, because like I said, that question could go
Yeah,
a bunch
yeah,
of different
Go
ways,
all
right?
over.
Let's consider women in business. That in
All
itself
that.
is a difficult thing
All
because
that, all
men, a lot of people like to belittle you.
Yeah.
Try to pay in our box.
Yeah,
Nah, you
yeah.
can't do that thing whatever. And like I said before, women in so many different careers now, right? It's difficult that for me now to think of a career where a woman not in or possibly dominating.
Mhm.
But because society and a chance that's a whole next thing, right?
Ooh, hey, look, I ain't saying ain't good enough.
No, but look at how
I
they
see.
treat
Yeah.
male and female athletes, right?
Fact.
That's a big disparity. So like it's difficult. It's difficult being a woman, period.
Right.
It's twice as difficult being a black female.
Yeah, that's
It's real difficult. A lot of people's expectations is not going to be for the regular person. For a black woman, I can even talk about myself. When I used to wear hijab and thing, it was 3 times as difficult because I'm a young black Muslim woman, right? So it's always going to be difficult, and what us women have to deal with, men would never understand.
Factual. But I think, and that is the reason for these kind of conversations, for people to understand, because I think we touched on it earlier on in the show, in terms of breaking the barrier, in terms of things that are not spoken of, things that we find like this generation need to break.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of things that was like, you see, well, we're not going to speak about generational poverty today.
Yeah, that's a whole
Not going to talk about that today. But it's a real different avenues to things that was taught to you as a child that you need to sit down and realize
it don't make sense.
It's not it. And I think we had that conversation with the fellas last week because they had children. And I think I asked the question in terms of what are you doing as a father who have daughters, a father who have sons, to break that, well, I would consider it a curse, right? And I honestly believe we are the generation to change that, right? So with regards to like things that, okay, you might just do it because, well, this is what I learned, or this is how I was brought up. You at some point need to sit down and realize this could be better. Or I could do better for whoever coming upon now, me. Or I could teach this young person. Or, you know, I realized the other day, I think it was Gels or somebody had tweeted something about age on Twitter. And we as our age now, that is our people who on Twitter in the year under 2000, like in 2010, when we probably was partying, that was 10 years. Now wild to me, you know.
Yeah. That's true.
But what are you as a 28 to 35-year-old doing to say, well, everything that we went through, you know how to go through.
Yeah.
As a young person.
And we're really not doing much, right? Because a lot of the things that 2010 that would have been happening in 2010, I would just say on social media, right? Is sensationalized differently now. Right? So in 2010 and stuff, children who would have been, let me say, 8, 9, 10 were not on social media as they are now.
So they never know what BB and
right?
Kind of things.
So now, you know, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds who have Instagram, who have Facebook,
everything,
so they're not, as you could try your hardest to parent them within the home.
Correct.
They have other things in the home that parents in them now. So I always used to say, right, the household, the family that I grew up with, I would never say I was sheltered because my family would always have certain discussions and stuff like that. But a lot of things that I learned it from going to school and going out there. Not trying to have to leave home. Because it writes in the hand, right? So it's not a matter of what we're doing now to make it better for them. Because children, they're exposed to so much. Right? Unless it is you literally have your child living in a bubble without any kind of devices. And I have so many different parents or things, locks and stuff on my kids' stuff. I know for a fact a lot of things are slip through. Right? So, and it's only when I get worse because technology has taken over significantly, you know? So it's not so much as what we could do, but you had to figure out a way.
So,
and it's just the conversations you have with your kids. And we at an age now, on a stage now, where you cannot try to pacify or keep things away from the kids because they're going to find out one way or the other and they're going to find out faster than you think.
And 90% of the time, the things are the final.
So, in saying that, you could say that not just being a woman, the difficulties as a woman, but as a mother, the difficulties of a mother would be somewhat enhanced now because
as a single parent, I could say for me, because I have to do the molding two different ways.
Right, yeah.
Because how I speak to my son is not how I'm going to speak to my daughter, and vice versa, right? Now, it becomes difficult, and I had to, one of the hardest things to me as a parent is unlearning how I was raised, right? Because how my parents brought me up is a different generation, a different time altogether. And a lot of the things that you would think about that would have happened in your past, you try to express yourself to shut that down one time. I cannot do that with my kids because I have two very expressive children. So I cannot do that. I have to allow them to feel things, say things, express yourself, right? And I have to be able to have conversations. I can't say go in and sit down and talk to them about sucking dick and all that. That's not the way, right? But you cannot keep things from them. You have to know how to have the conversation.
You see, you said
no, let me know. But you have to know how to have the conversation because there might be just innocently looking at something on the computer a day and something pop up. Mom, what is this about? You
and you can't pacify it.
Why are you pacifying it? Because then the next time I come up, they might go and show somebody else.
Yeah, and that was my experience the wrong way.
Yeah.
Fuck! And we need
children so intelligent.
Yeah.
And so different now, you cannot.
No, but we need to think about ourselves. Like, sorry, what we need to speak on to, and we need to talk about it in relation to women, right? The things that we went through, the things that we learned, the things that we experienced, is nothing that our parents talk to us about.
Yeah.
It's nothing. And even if it's something that they talk to us about, most of the times it's surface level stuff.
Yeah.
Like they would paint a picture to you so much that, hey, sex is bad. Forget that.
Sex is the end of the world.
Like they would paint it so much to the
So why people always doing it? It must be good.
No, like no, and no, but even that's in it. So alright.
People just risk it.
Yeah.
This is a lie. First thing.
Like when they like to talk about women, once you have you can't go broke, that kind of thing.
Just know. Let my parents stop.
Let me not go
Let
there.
me stop.
Because I'm fine.
Just
My jersey started getting a little round fully again. Can't take it.
No, like when you like to say that, yeah, as a woman, you can't be broken when you have a right? You could be broken. I mean, but in this day and age where everybody want to be independent, you don't want to be seen as just a
Right.
vessel.
Right. Correct.
Right?
Correct.
But apart from that, pretty privilege is our next thing, right?
Facts. Wouldn't know.
How you mean you would know? I'm pretty sure you went to certain places. Yeah, men definitely have it here.
For sure.
Men would have gone to certain places.
Yeah, you get an extra chicken.
All of that
Pennywise look us nice to you.
The love on it,
Pennywise.
Pennywise. The love on it.
Pennywise,
So
yeah.
yeah.
there's this other lie. I don't understand why you coming here to do that.
Nah.
Here's what I wanted to do. You see, here's what I wanted to do right now. All who find
Do not do that.
all who find Denzel attractive,
Oh, but that battery there, eh?
drop a comment.
I hope that battery.
Drop a little comment below
I hope that battery.
and not boost his ego, but let him know that you all find him
can't boost my
attractive.
ego, no. My ego.
Just know, but I don't like how you come here and
Sure.
lie now, but just let him know that those
I
guys
am lying.
do not slide any man.
I am just-
Don't, you know what to stop too? Don't slide in my DMs for him. You see that?
Wow.
You see that? Stop that.
Running with your chest.
Stop that.
That.
Message him out directly.
You remember what I'm calling you?
Alright.
Nah, but I mean, people like to say, you know, women could use what they have to their advantage, right?
Okay.
And yeah, it's been nice getting the little perks and stuff, but along with that, a lot of the times men feel entitled to more. Yeah? So they might find, alright, I help out in some way, wherever it is, right? I could be calling on your phone now, you have to go out with me. Yeah, they're always expecting more, right? And whole time,
I mean,
you and your partner, yes, it's
So,
if you go to a store and you purchase something, you know, kind of get
You
it.
come in with that thing.
No, I just say, I don't compare, I just say.
no.
You should say, you get things from a man, right? And he feel entitled, but
Let me not even talk about things. Let me talk about it like this, right?
I mean, like if us,
Let me talk about it like this. You minding your good business on social media, what to you?
right?
Right?
That's why you stay in the corner by yourself,
Man
forward.
message you,
Right.
and because you ain't giving me time of day because who's your wife?
Right.
He started kick a fuss in your
Okay,
there
right,
because he
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like
I
I
understand
it.
that. Yeah, I
Easy
understand
response.
that.
Yeah.
And timely one at that.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So it's like that men always feel some form of entitlement over women.
And I think that's why it's so hard for me to like accept things from men too, because you never know if it's like
Genuine.
yeah, you don't know if it's genuine or if you trying to, you know, get
And
something out of
That's
it.
real sad.
So from the jump, I'd be like, dog, you
Forget
know,
that.
nothing.
You're
Yeah.
not accepting nothing from each other.
From the jump, and
Let
it's like,
me tell you why that, and I understand what they're saying, and I feel like it's so unfair to women because of that, because it's like every single, because they can't leave women out questioning the attire, right? They can't even accept a gift without feeling,
Like you want more.
you know,
That's
yeah,
actual facts
unsure
though, like.
or what going on, right? But like, I don't feel like that should be
As sad as
something
it is,
we
it
should
shouldn't
be
be.
content with as men.
Yeah.
We should be content with that idea in our body.
Because
understand?
you might want to do something nice for somebody.
Right.
I didn't have the good
Simple.
ones.
Yeah,
It have the
that's
ones
right.
that just be
Right.
like, dog, I don't want nothing, you know, there's just me out of the
Right,
goodness of my
right.
heart.
And I feel
And
like
you might be
that's-
thinking that, and the person declined it, right?
Yeah.
And now you're going to feel like, way boy. And it's simply because of, as a woman, she knows the possibility.
Right.
You
Right,
understand?
right.
So it's like always, we literally always have our guards up in some way or the other.
You
So as
know,
a woman, it's easier for you to learn quick, not to be too naive, because situations could go left really, really quickly. And that could just change everything.
you know, I come to the acceptance that like, if I try to do something genuine, and like this is just me personally, right? I've met women who went through whatever they went through, but for me, I doesn't see the need to define me as a person to nobody.
Right.
So if I try to do something genuine for you, and not even do something, but if I'm fresh on the scene and I come in at you as genuine as possible, I ain't trying to jam. If we jam, jam. But the conversation is not that. But I've had conversation with some women that is like in the mental, all men, the end and all is the jam.
And I be real, right? In a situation where it's like that, where he's saying that's not his intention, right? Like you come in as transparent as possible. In our minds, we still win and think
That the intention.
in the long run,
Right.
the
You will
intention
come
is
back
there.
at some point
Yeah,
and
but
try
alright, cool.
something.
So what's up?
But
What's
why?
Wait,
I think
wait.
I
Because it's
Why?
so
That's
common.
how it is.
That is
That's
why.
it.
That is
Almost
why.
now a character trait of men, and you don't want
Correct.
to label all
Correct.
men together. But from what
They
is
do,
we
they do,
see
they do.
time and time again,
Is that-
pretty
I
much
find that
men's
so.
man.
I know so much.
Weird.
That I know that
Weird.
I never
And I've
even considered going on them.
exactly.
And
And for me personally, I've accepted that to the point where if I talking to you normal and you being like you're vocally that, so what is it really want to about? Everybody know me as a vocal person. So I let you know, no, like it's nothing. That's why I say if we jam, we jam. But the conversation is not that.
Yeah, I feel like that
because
should be on the female.
Think about it like this, right? Has there ever been a situation where for sure you're not feeling this person, you're doing something out of just the kindness that you had for this person, right? And the young lady apprehensive about it, and you have to keep reassuring her, no, like I don't want anything out of it, thing, whatever. It would keep happening because us as women,
That's just
it's,
a norm.
it's just
It's a norm.
yeah, it's second nature to us to approach situations like that.
no, but that's why I'm saying
But then I understand. No,
I
like you said
go
that,
through that.
I know just one.
You would, and it might make you feel some type of way, but again, us women will always have our guards
No,
up
like even in
because we know what the possibility
facts, and in that conversation, I'll constantly let you know. I understand where you're coming from, man. Alright, cool.
is. Yeah, you could reassure and say all that.
And it will still be up to them, I mean.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
always be up to all of them, but
Yeah.
I just want some women to realize that
Not all men coming with that intention.
Like it's
Yeah.
cool.
Like,
Like
it's
and
cool.
it have this stigma that all men want to jump at some point in time. It can never be a platonic male friend or
That is incorrect.
that's
I'm sorry.
solely incorrect.
That is incorrect.
Because I mean, like sometimes even Dick does say, and I does agree with Dick sometimes. But like at that time he had said that
Really?
at that time he had said that he could be cool with you as a female friend of him. But just know that if you throw it at him, whenever you decide to throw it at him, he not gay. So
I mean, you have a point.
he not saying that
You know, pressure in your face.
he not pressure in your face.
But
But
if
like
you
if
decide-
circumstances permit and you come at him,
Alright.
it's not going to be that he's going to be the best man in the world, that he's going to be like,
Right.
no. It's how men that going to be like,
So here in that, right? What if
wait,
I
just
just
now. Just now. He drank all that rock by
Yes.
himself.
There's no me.
Alright, continue.
in a situation like that, let's just say I might be in a vulnerable state, right? It could be for what? It don't have to be that
Oh,
I
it's on the
drinking or
headers.
anything,
I
right?
was on the headers.
Not that I drinking or anything. I just probably within the moment
Mhm.
feeling super vulnerable.
Right.
And because you said if he sees the
Oh,
opportunity,
there's one
right?
the headers from a woman.
And he moves forward and take the advancement, right?
Wait, because you advance first.
Yeah.
No, just like the situation is what it is. I feeling vulnerable, bringing talk or whatever.
Who bring it
And
up? No,
just
let me
conversation.
No,
Here
no.
Let me tell you something. Consent, doing this is not consent. Rubbing up on you, all that is not consent.
Correct.
Consent is, I want to jam. Yes. Let me do it. No.
Let me get deeper.
Consent
Right, so that.
is verbal
No, but that was
and
the consent.
verbal.
Let me get deeper.
That was the consent.
Let me get deeper.
What is the person say? Hey.
Yeah, that's why I said let me get deeper, right?
Like as in that.
How is that friendship going to be after?
And I think that's a big deal, because if he's my genuine male friend, you
That's
would
what
have
I
that. No, you would
You
have
know
the
how I
conversation, or you would have that. This like you would have to think, look, if it's worth ruining this friendship.
friendship.
If you really care, if you
So
care
that's
about
what-
the friendship,
So
and
what I'm
think that
saying is,
way.
if you have sex with a like a male friend of yours, a genuine male friend, it will ruin the friendship.
No, I'm not saying it will.
I'm not
She
saying
didn't
I'm
it's
not saying
going to
it's
be
will.
friendship.
Yeah.
But before you just think anything is anything and
Right.
you just go, I think it's important to consider,
consider,
right.
right, yeah.
Especially if you know
Because
the
that friendship
situation.
is never going to be the same
Yeah.
again.
Correct. Wait, so let me
It's
just
never
add.
going to be
Let me
the
just
same
add,
again.
right? Let me add. Let me use me.
Yeah, you use me at all because I
Let me use me. I've been in that situation before. Right? Me as a person, I would ask more than once. I would ask. You know, we real good. This was never on the table before. And if I come at you sideways on this level before you bring it to the table, I just wanted to know I am not relationship material. Right?
Because friendship, that's not fucking friendship.
Wait, it's not, because I am still friends with her today.
I don't think it have to mess
It
it up.
is not.
Because here how my mind going on, right? Because I have quite a number of platonic male friends.
Mm-hmm.
You have a jam any other?
Never.
Right.
Never even had those kinds of conversations, no
Right.
kind of advancements,
Right,
nothing.
yeah.
I have four
Yeah.
specifically, right?
Yeah.
If I was ever in a situation where that happens, me knowing myself, that going to play on my mind.
You can't overthink.
Because I go in and say, yo, I wonder how much times this person say to themselves, yo, I
If
will
she
slit
slips, she
your
falls.
throat.
If she slips.
Yeah, you understand?
Most men.
So,
Nine,
right.
19,
So,
98%.
moving forward,
I really girl.
How
I
that
like-
conversation
I like
went?
I wasn't
You
sure.
only
percent.
2%.
72%.
I was like, I
No, I know the reason why I said that, right? I do attach, and I'm genuinely speaking of me alone, I do not attach sex to feelings.
Right,
Unless I attach feelings before the sex.
right. There's not even a feelings thing.
Wait, listen to where I'm coming from.
No,
Because-
she don't know my feelings.
I
No, I know, but when you say nothing gonna mash up the friendship, is because I always believe in our conversation. If anyway in my conversation or our conversation I find like you sounding
Shaky.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, this good
No,
on it, right?
and she mental.
No, but
she
if
could
you
sound
first,
she could sound confident in the moment.
In the moment,
Yeah.
But
right?
after now is what she thinking, but wait man. He could
I'm
Yeah,
not,
good
but
on it.
I'm not going to change I'm not going to change anything I used to do before.
that's the point.
No problem.
Is she mental changing? What you
Confiding.
No, but I cool,
My-
right?
because she gonna tell you everything.
Right.
A, B, C, D, E,
I
F,
could-
Me
G.
confiding in
This
you
one
going
do the-
forward.
exactly.
Going to be real.
Exactly.
It's gonna be different.
It's
Exactly.
going
That's how
to
she say.
change your friendship.
And that's how she saying. But
It
that's only
will.
because how she mental.
That's it.
That is her mental.
Yeah.
Because
And not everybody thinks
Never
the same.
cool.
Not everybody will think the same way.
Because
Might
some
have
people will be fine with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can't will be fine.
Because I'm not going to treat you any different.
I talking about this is a platonic friend, all you're going on for years,
Yes.
whatever time, and all
Been
you
through it.
never once
Yeah.
had any kind of sexual
Any-
conversation.
any-
Like,
Been-
I talking about never,
I've been through it.
right? And then all you
I've never been through it.
that's
so I
weird.
can't speak on it. But
Because,
No, it,
well, I know some earlier,
I feel like if we reach
but
here,
in order for us to become
just now.
intimate,
Just now.
you have some kind of
yeah, I
attraction.
feel like
Yeah.
You had to
no,
be
she said
intimate.
yes.
Let me.
I've been through it.
I've never been through it.
I've been through it.
So,
Alright, so-
for your men does operate
No,
different. I
that's-
bet you drop
I
hard
don't
on
do
you.
I don't do that. That
For
should.
me to get aroused for one of my platonic male friends,
That should.
I can't
That's
say
like
that.
saying I gonna jam my key. How the fuck I gonna do that?
wow.
We've said this
And
here.
kinda, and that's how she said. If it's years, you have this person.
Listen.
Like years, it cannot
Listen.
see or imagine yourself doing something like that with that person.
Aaron,
That's just me. I don't want you,
Aaron.
but I don't want me.
Aaron, you are an alien.
But
You know
it's
what?
just not possible.
We
I
understand
am
me
not,
here.
I am not
It's not
saying.
possible.
No, wait. He keep honest multiple times. Me, the can hear, and I've had this conversation multiple times. Right?
I don't want to do it.
I understand where he comes from in terms of, to him, it is not possible. Right?
That person is like a sister.
Mash breaks.
Correct.
That person like
Let
blood
me
family.
finish.
Correct.
Let me finish. But it's not actually your blood. And
Right, but it's years.
And they
You
keep saying that.
sick fucker.
What mean
It's
that?
not
Alright, and let me tell you why
actually
I
your
just never
blood.
understand about
Wait.
that. Alright, my blood is actually my blood.
No, but wait.
Thank you. You're
Wait.
making sense.
Wait. Just now. Right? For my scenario,
Right.
I have never had any sexual encounter with the person. Not once. Not
Right.
even a little bit.
Right.
She knows me personally since way back when.
Right.
The conversations we used to have is your hoes, your gal and them. That is the conversations we have.
Oh, always invest in each other business. Like what you want
But
to
I'm
do.
don't.
That ain't
it's not-
friend.
What?
That ain't friend.
No,
You
sir.
know- She
No.
know what you was doing. You know what she was doing. That is that.
No, I'm not talking about no normal. I'm talking about like since primary school kind of friend. Like there's no like platonic. We could line, brother. We could have sleep in the same bed was nothing.
Right.
And I think we did that already. It's nothing. Nothing.
Just
Right.
sounds like the bush you want feeling.
No, like a situation happened
Right.
that we were both in the same situation together and something sparked in that moment.
Okay. Alright. Cool. I can
It was
understand.
literally that. It was no conversation, nothing.
Good job.
Yes.
I understand.
And no, but hold on, let me explain how it went. So when it sparked in that situation and that scenario, the conversation was had. Like, what is your real scene? Be real good. This, I know what went on in that scenario. Probably like it was
Also, there's posts.
no, we didn't even jam yet, you know. It's just that a scenario happened that sparked like you could get, I could get, both are we single. That's all went
You
on.
know how I having a conversation with one of my best friends.
No, I don't want to describe the
I'm
scenario.
not saying all that, but just saying I can't say it.
I don't want to describe the scenario, but it actually had a specific scenario where, let me say, both of us were vulnerable in that scenario. Nothing happened that night, but it sparked a conversation. And from the conversation, it was like, would you be okay with this? And would you be okay with that? And if we do go down that road, how is it going to affect the friendship? We had that conversation. Yeah?
Love that.
Cool, normal. Could call and she to this day. Normal.
Because I want to move. Could be me.
But and even like so something like that, right? in every like we say link. Normal conversations are like in between rounds was conversations. Friendship conversation like
that is extremely hard
That
to
really-
it's normal. We were school.
I love her.
Can me, I answer.
But I'ma say though, yeah, the platonic friend thing.
I understand people as we coming from, but I feel like that could be solved with that conversation.
Nah, but
It's not that, it's like I'm literally not going to get excited.
But if I say no, but you know, so the scenario is you're vulnerable.
Yes.
that gonna be hard.
A vulnerable and my feelings thing.
No, but the scenario was you're
But
vulnerable
man's
and with that
try,
person.
because I'm not
No.
going to get aroused for one of my platonic friends. And that's what I was saying, like how that
I
is
understand too what
happening.
she's saying.
No, I know it.
Because I
Like,
and I don't know any way that
all you gotta do is shoot on something and a man might get hot.
That is a lie.
For me, it's different.
Why?
Right? So I just say for me, if I check me on that level, I love her.
That's the thing. I feel like it's according to the level.
Yeah.
You understand?
Because it have people, no, like,
according to the level.
I talk about like my true friend, it might have a little acquaintance and no thing whatever. And if it is I never tell you as a friend, if it slip on my age, then it don't have a possibility of it ever happening.
You know, I said if I were
You're so I mean,
Off topic.
that's that.
I know what I said. I'm wondering the same thing because
Because all they get real quiet for that minute.
Yeah,
But no,
man.
that's just that's on that. To go back to the question, I'm sure Shana would agree it's difficult as fuck.
no,
Edit.
no. Alright, so bye.
Real
Well,
hard.
No, if I had anything to add,
Oh no, I was agreeing with Sana.
In
Ah.
all spheres.
I think. Well, he probably more mature than me, but me personally, no, I would agree. Even before, I used to always agree that women have it harder, especially in terms of like being accepted one and being understood, because
Now you understood. Alright, so being understood as well, but also being respected.
For sure.
Because I see like my mother went through plenty things as a female, being like ahead in a division she was in and things like that. But when it go like to relax to like CXC and them kind of thing that way. So it had plenty victimization. Plus she was Seventh-day Adventist, so the things that she not doing
They
at
will
all.
keep undermining her.
Yeah, so they keep making it seem as though she's the problem, she's the fault, and then things like that. Number. So it's like women always had and still have that problem of being respected, like in the workplace, and even in probably every aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like in every single aspect, it's still there.
And not
So
to
I
like
guess-
keep going on and on. The other day when you were talking about on Twitter, if girl have a child and blah blah blah.
No,
Let me tell you how messed up it is, right?
that is some fucked up shit. And that is a shallow trait.
It's easy
But,
for a man to leave with society not saying nothing.
About the man
Right?
himself, yeah.
But how different would it be if a woman ups and decides she wants to leave the man with the child?
I mean, I know of stories. I know, like, actually people who are.
But they would
in
have
that,
the
but
worst to say about that woman, right?
Yeah. Because we do talk about shit.
Right. So your whole thing is it would be difficult for a woman who has children to be accepted by the next man to be married or whatever.
Right.
Something
Yeah.
like that, right? Imagine a girl like me paying my own bills,
Right.
doing everything, having my thing. Like when you're coming to me,
Right.
you're not coming to see me under.
Yeah, struggling, right.
You understand? But you see me
have no
for
slack
that.
to pick up. It have no slack to
Right,
pick up.
because I
Right.
handling my storage, right?
Right.
You see me as a handicap because I have 2 children that I never asked you to help.
Right.
Make it make sense. Meanwhile, you're still living home with your mother.
Right. She just.
You're borrowing your brethren
Take my
car.
chance in your taking.
You're borrowing your brethren car.
Mm-hmm.
Your bank account on 0 like 6 months now, so they're looking to close your account.
End the episode.
No
Right?
income.
But you're seeing me as a handicap who not
Right.
even asking nobody for nothing.
Right.
You see how unfortunate it is
Yeah.
for a woman. But because you as a man who don't have no children, you still have a future. Fuck great.
Parents of that man
Fuck
have
me.
a part to play in that too.
That
Facts.
you think?
Yeah.
You brought up C.
Eh?
It could be that way, but it have men who you might have 3 different children. You know you might have 3 different children, right? Your father have 6. Your father with your mother,
Right.
but your father have outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
But
you're never
facts.
you're never 4 months apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know people so. I know real
but we
people
have to
so.
talk the things because there's the kind of nonsense that's
Yeah,
happening
it's a
in
fun,
society.
it's a
But
fun.
you see me as a woman,
And you said your mother.
you ain't studying what's going on.
Yeah.
But you see me
Yeah.
as a handicap because
Yeah.
I have 2 children.
Yeah.
When I hear and you hear.
Yeah.
So how you can see me as a handicap when I have all these things going for myself? And there's not me trying to be bossy or anything, but this is how
Right. Yeah.
society views things, right? And it's real unfortunate. It's really shitty to be honest.
Still not come on, G.
So yeah, it's women who have shit going for themselves, but who have children are seen as handicapped, but you don't know where the child father is,
Right.
why the child father not there,
Right.
or anything like
Yeah.
that.
We try to find a dead now. You don't know. You've been
So
wrong.
seeing women who have children as less than single women, that is less than or a handicap, that's the dumbest thing ever. Now I'm not saying
Shots fired.
this is what you have to accept, right? If that's your stance, then that's your stance. But you're looking at just that. That girl not going to ask you for $1 for the child. She might even let you see that child. You understand? So they just need to change your mindset a little bit.
Tell
Tell me. Let me edit. Alright? I feel you need to clear my name.
No, don't clear your name at
Clear
all.
nothing because
Clear.
that's what you said.
Nothing. That's just how it's you now. You just go.
Listen, it is not. I had a talk with my mother. It is not a shallow trait. It is my preference.
Right.
Right? And I don't see a woman who has children as anything lesser. It is not that. It is just something I want for me. Right? So I'm not going to treat you as less. I'm not going to treat you as handicapped. That guy who posts whoever he posts was on madness. I don't support anything like that. Any woman I meet with children, I know the stance I'm going to take towards them because I know me personally what I want for myself.
Okay, cool.
It's not based on how anything that has to do with her personally is based on me, right? So I always uplift them. If anybody know me, and I have personal friends who could attest to this, women with fellas who have men that not entwined into the relationships, I always try, especially if it's my personal friends, because I have personal friends that I have spoken to with regards to how would you feel? Like, what's the reason why they really break up? I said child mother, but talk to my son, what's the reason why they really break up? Nothing, or she never won you, or they just had a disagreement. How are you going to feel a next man in your child life when you could have been there for something that all they could have talk about? So, do I ever feel like when I say I don't want a woman with a child is because the vision I have for me and children and marriage, and I'm big on that, me personally.
Okay.
So you
Right.
want to start your whole family.
Yeah.
And that's fine, and I understand that as well. And there are women who will say, "I'm man have a child, I don't want no part."
Yeah.
But it's easier for a man who
So-
has a child
But that woman will
to
gravitate too.
get
So
from a
that's-
woman.
that's
You
facts.
understand?
That's
Without
facts.
the woman ever questioning anything about the child.
That's
You know
That's
what I
facts.
mean?
That's true.
I mean, is every situation will be different because I'm the type of person for many years I could be linking who nobody's seeing my children, right? So you knowing I have children, that shouldn't even bother you because you will never come within this range of my child. You understand? Because I know what it takes for me to parent and who it is I really want around my kids, right? So is a lot of gray areas, but it's messed up that because when you said that, it brought it to the forefront for me that yeah, it have a lot of people who think like this.
Mhm.
You understand? You see, man, good enough to jam, but you wouldn't see a future with me.
This is real.
And that.
This is raw.
Because, brother,
All you know, like, comment, share, subscribe.
that brings up no stable, I'm sure.
Right? We moving.
This was a nice episode.
I don't know what. I know what coming next, but I can't tell all that.
Next week as well.
Oh, can't tell all that.
It doesn't stop, right?
No, we go ahead. They can't tell all that. But like, comment, share, subscribe. This is real. This is raw.